sometimes I want them to know it's about them.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna let you know. I'm putting this on wax.
I've only said someone's name once in a song.
You can't be making them famous.
That's true.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Meetings That Changed My Life, where I sit down with creative duos to dissect their collaboration and explore how they're shifting creativity. On the agenda for today's meeting, I'm sitting down with singer-songwriter Kenzie Ziegler and songwriter/producer Lenii. We're gonna get into the details on their musical careers and how they weave themselves into every track they create together. I'm your host, Bimma, and this meeting is now in session. I'm excited to have both of you on set today. Kenzie, I wanted to start with telling us a bit about finding your voice in the music industry after having, previous success of your own, whether it's in the dance realm and already having like a successful hit. What's it been like to find your voice today?
Honestly, it's taken quite some time. I have been in the public eye since I was 6 years old, but I've always felt like I wasn't doing enough. And I think these past few years, especially since meeting you, because I met her when I was really trying to write my own music and I was really trying to find myself and find my sound. And I was extremely shy and had zero confidence, and I kind of just like jumped right into it. But I think now I've progressed so much over the years and I just really enjoy what I do and just have so much fun with it.
Lenii, what led for you to move to the States, to the US? Like, what was going on?
I'm gonna try and make this super short. So yeah, I'm from Ireland. When I always watched Hannah Montana and started writing songs when I was everybody, Yeah, I started writing songs when I was 6 because I just wanted to be a pop star. And then my cousin, when I was 11, told me I couldn't sing, basically. She was like, listen, you write great songs, but I leave the singing to your sister. So I was like, that's it, my life is over at 11. And I Googled other jobs in music and found production. And this sounds so silly, but I just started emailing schools that were colleges, I think, probably. And I was like, please take me, I want to learn. And they were like, you're literally 12, going.
You're like, take me in.
Literally take me in. And they were all over the world too. There was one in India, there was one, I was delusional. And then one school, one of them replied and was like, when you're 15, you can come. And it was in New York. And I had an aunt in New Jersey, so I moved in with her, and long story short, that's how I got to America in the first place, and I just became obsessed with being in America because nothing really was happening in Ireland.
Where were you leading up to meeting, Lenii? What was going on?
I was on a reality show when I was younger, and I left the reality show when I was around 12 years old. And that's when I basically started my music career. I actually made my first song when I was 8 years old, which I didn't write it, but I recorded a song and actually did really well for,
It's a sick song. It's such a bop.
You better let her give you them flowers.
I mean, it's a joke at this point, but so yeah, I started making music, and I didn't start writing my music until I was around 13 or 14. I signed to a label at that time, and I left really short after that, and then I got a pub deal. So then I really started writing music, but it was during quarantine. So I had to do all the Zoom sessions, which was so intimidating, but also it was kind of unmotivating. I don't know if you feel that way, but it's just not being in the room with people
and having a connection.
Yeah, and I was just really nervous to say anything, really anything. But then I met her around that time, so.
Come on. So Lenii, what about you? Where were you at? What was leading up before you ended up connecting with Kenzie?
I had been producing for a long time at that point, but I had actually just stopped being a producer in sessions. It's a very male-dominated industry, and it was hard for me to be taken seriously, I think, for a while. So I was doing a lot of songwriting for other people. When we met, I was in Ireland. I was doing a lot of TikToking, and my music was going well for myself, but also being at home, I was just producing a lot more, and I feel that's kind of cool because when we met on Zoom, and those are always weird, but we just kind of had banter and had a good time, and it gave me confidence too. It was the first time I really felt we could, this sounds so cheesy, we could kind of grow together.
What was it about Lenii that you're kind of like this person?
Well, I think, like you said, Zoom was very unmotivating, and everyone was just in their PJs and sitting in their bed, including me. But you were so bubbly and fun, and you just like knew what you were doing, and her lyrics were so good, all of her ideas were so good. I was like, wow, like I want to be surrounded by this person because I feel like I could learn so much from her. So
You're bringing out a lot of stuff from this right now that I feel like I might cry. It's gonna get very sappy.
Well, you know, I have to ask you, well, how did you feel about all of this?
I was nervous because I was still in that place of like really trying to be taken seriously as a producer, and like, you know, Zoom is also like, it sucked because you couldn't have that thing of like being able to be in the room with each other, and you can just hang up if you want, you know? Like,
And don't let it be the internet delay.
yeah, oh God, I've done that a few times, I will say.
Literally, it's so true. And like, I was nervous because when I was told there was a session with Kenzie, I like, you know, you always kind of look into the person, see what their music is like, whatever. And there was a Kenzie with like 1,000 followers, and there was a Kenzie with like 15 million, and I was like, oh, it's definitely this other person, you know? So then when she answered the phone, I was like, that just was like a shock to me, you know?
When she came to LA and moved here, we went in like my friend's studio, and it was actually like so funny because it was, remember, we couldn't figure out the mic, so it was like, we had a different mic going through. It was like the most
It was so
shitty
messy.
setup. It was the most shitty setup.
Yeah.
And I think we cut it twice.
I think we cut that song like
4
5 times.
times? I don't know.
It was a long process. Because also I wasn't confident either in my
Yeah.
abilities with that
Crazy.
yet. And we definitely did have like that thing where like the cable was like kind of keeping the door open, so I had to keep it shut with one hand and press record with the other one. Like,
no, it was pretty brutal,
it's
but
ridiculous.
But it was so fun. I'm so glad that it made it to the album. I think my favorite track on my album, Biting My Tongue, would be either Biting My Tongue, the song, because it kind of started all of the kind of the overview of the album, or it would be Casualty. I can't pick one though. It's hard. My best Lenii impression, well, she is Irish, so I sometimes try to talk in her voice, which I'm totally gonna butcher this. It's gonna be absolutely terrible. Lovely, lovely, because that's what she says, or stunning, stunning, after I record.
Kenzie, let's talk about the new project, Biting My Tongue, right? That dropped this summer. Would you say you feel like maybe that's the most personal to date?
Every song on this project is super raw and vulnerable. Every song kind of has its own different spot. Like, it's cohesive enough, but it's still different. And you could listen to one and feel like a bad bitch, and then you could listen to another one and feel really sad, you know? I think it is the most raw, but I think my new music is like even more raw and like authentic.
she has a lot going on in her life. There's a lot to talk about.
I go over to Lenny's house and she's like, wow, I literally just like love living through you. Like, you're
It's so true. There's so much happening.
There's so much
like,
happening.
Yeah,
Is
emotionally.
it always 100% from your life, or do you like sometimes it's from like, I don't know, friends and family, or is it just like, nah, this is literally what's happening in Kenzie's world right now?
it's usually me. I think there's been like once or twice we've like written about something else.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, something that happened with me and my friends, or something that happened with me and an ex-boyfriend, or me and my sister. Like,
I think it's the coolest thing, and also like, oh, so brave. Like, that sounds so fluffy, but like, it's so brave to write songs about like relationships in your life. Like, whether it's like, it's not even just like exes or whatever, it's like friends and your family, and like, it's so brave to me. So I'm
Thanks.
always just like, oh my God, we're gonna put this in a song? Like, this is so sick. Like,
well, sometimes I want them to know it's about them,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, you're like, nah, I'm gonna let you know. I'm putting this on
Yeah.
wax.
For sure, for sure.
I will
I've
send this to you.
only said someone's name once in a song, so
You can't be making them famous.
that's true.
Oh my God.
After like doing all that work, what does it feel like to like release the project?
I mean, from working on it for so long, I mean, the first song that we made was 4 years ago on this album. I still don't think it's out. Like, in my brain, I'm still like, oh, like, you know, we'll listen to these in my files. Like, no, it's actually out.
You can go to Spotify now.
Yeah, like, you can
Like,
literally look it
you
up.
can go play it.
It's
Yeah.
insane. I'm like so happy and also like super relieved because every time I release a song, I'm like super excited about it. But this was like a full thing, you know? and I was super nervous for the reaction, but I got amazing feedback and everyone's been so generous. Like my own friends are like, your album has been on repeat, and I'm like, that's all I want.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I think that's so sick.
Yeah.
And so I feel like a sense of calmness now.
And Lenii, you produced like 6 songs, right? On this project. What was the experience like?
A lot. It was the best thing ever. Because also the songs we did, the ones that I got to produce on it are all so different from each other. Like you were saying a second ago, there's like the ones where you feel like a bad bitch, and then there's the ones where you're just like crying, and like it's so nice because like it's just like getting to do different things that also I feel like at the beginning we couldn't have seen.
We didn't even just do those 6 songs. There were like 20.
Oh, there were like a lot. 20, I have like 50 just in like a file that's just Kenzie that are finished. Like we did experiment a lot over like 4 years and then picked the ones, like you picked the ones that felt the most like cohesive to you. And it was so cool to just be able to like explore it all together.
What did you notice from her as an artist?
She knows her mind. Like that's actually so rare. I feel like Ken's just is like, this is who I am and what I want to talk about, and like that's so sick and like so refreshing because you can just like lean into that person and that world. And like she's also just grown so much since we met. Like I feel like this album has been a timeline of like from literally when we met and then to now, and like she's a different person. She's so confident and like just doesn't take any shit. Like it's just so cool. It's just been the coolest thing ever.
Talk to me about these matching tattoos.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Like, what's the story behind
Can
this?
you see yours? Can you? Is it like two? Where they're not that big.
It's terrible.
They're the shittest tattoos ever.
They're so bad. Like if you really look up close, it's really bad. I'm super impulsive. I think you are too.
Yeah.
We're both super impulsive, and we were just all in her room. We wrote the song, and then we were like, wow, this song is so good. Kind of just like left it alone.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I was back in with her cutting a different song.
Yeah.
And I was like, we should like get matching tattoos. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, we should like get biting my tongue. Because at that time we were talking about the song in general, and I was like, this should be the album title because the album itself, I have been biting my tongue for so long, and all of these songs are super out there, and I was like, this makes so much sense. And then we were all like in agreement, and then I was like, yeah, matching tattoos right now, this is the album. Yeah, we literally went to a random tattoo shop, walked in, and got a tattoo.
Just got a
Also,
tattoo.
like saying this is the name of the album, and the label hadn't even heard the song yet. It was wild because we were
so
just
y'all had
like,
to
we're
be committed to
committed.
this.
And then they were like, yeah, you're right, thank God.
Yeah.
But imagine if it went the other way, they were like, I hate this song, I would have been like, oh, okay.
If it was called something else, we'd just have to get it like crossed out and
Yeah.
like something else underneath.
for
Would
sure.
you have changed it? Would you have been like, I'm changing it, or you'd been like, nah, I'm keeping this?
I probably would have kept it.
Yeah.
You know? It's a tattoo.
It's a
I have
memory.
so many tattoos.
Yeah.
Like, no
Yeah.
one's gonna look at it and be like, that's really bad. It's just a cute memory and be like, yeah, I got this
Yeah.
shitty tattoo with my best friends, you know?
It's literally the memory, and we'll probably get a lot more, and
It's
they'll
true.
probably be worse.
Yeah,
It's just
I'm sure we'll get more matching tattoos.
100%.
You know?
Well, my first impression of Kenzie in 3 words: young. She's a bit quiet. Cute. My musical influence, production-wise, would have always been Kanye West. But melody-wise, I listened to a lot of Johnny Cash growing up too, which is really other ends of the spectrum. Yeah, and maybe some ABBA, like, you know, being from Ireland.
I think it's pretty clear that you have a lot of trust in Lenii. What is it about her that you love working with her so much?
I think she just gets me like no one else. I have worked with so many people, and don't get me wrong, I work with amazing people and I have found such great partnerships, but I think you in particular, it's just like, we share a brain cell when we're making music.
One brain cell.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one brain cell. We
always
only
there.
have one brain cell. I could say anything and she would be like, wait, no, that's cool. And it's like, I don't have to be nervous.
Where does the inspiration come from? If y'all are creating a track, like, where are you pulling from these days?
Most of the time, I go over to Lenny's house and I just rant for hours and hours and hours.
Literally.
That's honestly how it is.
She's like, this happened,
Yeah.
so we have to talk about
I'm
it.
like, so today I want to write about this, and then I rant for 2 hours, and it feels so great because I use it as therapy, and also like getting to talk to my friends about it and then write a cool ass song out of it. It's like, wow, that was great.
It's like it's easy, you know? Yeah. She comes in with the weirdest references,
I come in with
like
weird references.
the most random stuff.
Yeah, it's not even like I want this song to sound like this. I'll just be like, listen to how great this song
the
is.
feeling of it.
How do we even make this song feel like this? And be like, what? But you always do it. It's always great.
Yes. Lenii, what's next for you as an artist?
As an artist, I have an EP coming out in a few months called The Problem With Everything. It's actually a fun album. It's not that dark or serious, but it's called The Problem With Everything, which is funny. But I think the next thing will just be that I'll do a few different projects of different genres for myself, where I just produce it all and just like, I'm not really gonna care so much about what it is. Yeah.
You're gonna try it out. Kenzie, Lenii, thank y'all so much. Like, this was really, really dope conversation, and I love like the authentic connection between the two of you, and can't wait to see, you know, the music continue to make together. So thanks for joining us. You got to come back.
Oh, we absolutely will. Thank you for having us. This was such a great conversation.
This is so lovely.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.